I'm John MacDonald, and I'm a professor here at Western Sydney University. In the last decade or so, a bit more, I've been involved in the social determinants of men's health. So we run a small centre, and we call it the Men's Health Information and Resource Centre. Many men accept themselves as carers when it happens to them in life, and often don't see themselves as carers.
There's a lot of male carers that remain hidden because we don't identify ourselves as carers. My name is Andrew, and my role is a carer for my father, who's 96. It's pretty much a full-time position in the sense that I need to know, what he's doing next and how's he going to manage. What's involved in caring for my father is having some social support for him, making sure that he's at home, not on his own. Also assisting him with his shopping, meal preparation, maybe even his washing. And then, just being around in case, he needs a doctor's appointment as well. Just constant sort of following up and making sure that he's okay. The thing that keeps coming up is, what's next? What's the next issue I have to deal with on a daily basis? It's sort of like I've had a role reversal, that he's the young person and I'm the adult, and so I'm now parenting my father. There are huge challenges in being a carer, especially from my own life, my own career, my own responsibilities.
So we've got this idea, almost a stereotype, that caring is for women, whereas in reality, especially in my experience, in later life, men often find themselves in a caring role.
My name is John, and I care for a chap by the name of Damian. Damian has Alzheimer's. It's progressed to the stage now where he can't remember anything at all. Even to get dressed now, he leaves his shoes and socks on and tries to put a pair of trousers over the top, and it doesn't work. He can't follow any direction. He forgets where he's put things. Even as far as meals are concerned, I have to do all the meals, prepare his breakfast, lunch and dinner, because there at one stage he'd left the stove on and didn't realise that it was on. So the dangers there were just too great. The first I picked up, we'd been to Argentina, and he was asking people in the street where to go to, say, a certain church. But then we would only go, say, 50 yards, and he would stop someone else and ask them for exactly the same direction. It didn't dawn on me at the time when we were in Argentina until we came back. And Damian himself knew there was something wrong because he'd gone to the doctor himself and said, there's something wrong. And they diagnosed Alzheimer's there. I was devastated. Sorry. I couldn't believe it because I had such big plans. I was nearly due to retire, and I thought, this will be great. We'll be able to go on holidays, we'll be able to go overseas because we love travelling. And then I knew this wasn't going to happen anymore. And my prime role then would be to looking after Damian.
I think it is very intense, because as he watches the man he's looking after or caring for deteriorate mentally and physically, he's thinking, is this my life? I'm going to, I didn't sign up for this, but I'm going to do it, but I didn't sign up for this.
Everything was okay?
Certainly.
Sure?
All
right.
Kisses.
Okay.
My name's Andrew, and I'm currently caring for my 3 children, Xavier, Xander and Zorana. Each child has a different disability. Xavier has autism of a level 2 diagnosis with echolalia. He repeats and mimics what he hears. Xander has a diagnosis of autism level 3. He's got global delays, which puts him, instead of being 4, he's about mentally 1.5. Zorana, she's got unilateral hearing loss, where her left ear is perfectly fine, her right ear is completely gone. The way the kids' diagnosis have changed my life and the way it runs, I don't have much of a personal life. It's work, kids, and I might get a little bit of time to myself in the evening. My wife and I haven't been out for dinner or anything by ourselves in nearly 2 years. And the only reason we did was for our honeymoon, which was 3 days. Some of the duties that consist of my day are the general duties for a parent is your bathing, your feeding, all the generic stuff. But then on top of that, we have to do our speech therapy, our occupational therapy, as well as behavioural therapy, and try and work out some psychological therapy as well. I never thought I'd find myself looking after 3 kids with somewhat severe disabilities between them. I have just had to adapt to what I've been given.
Men are not socialised to think of themselves as carers, and sometimes, in a sense, the role is thrust upon them. But it's been my experience that many rise to the occasion and do their best.
Sometimes I don't feel supported because this is the nature of caring. Sometimes it's a very isolating experience when I'm continually in the world of another person and managing their health and their well-being on a daily basis. That's where the loneliness comes, is that, you know, I'm always out of the picture.
Being with someone for 24 hours a day, it does put a bit of a strain on you. When you're working in an aged care facility, at least you can come home, you can relax, and yeah, you've got a break. But when you're doing it full time for someone, living with someone, you don't get that break.
The toughest hurdle I've had to face as a carer has been looking after myself. This has been a real challenge for me because I generally want to do my best for the person that I'm caring for. And the biggest challenge is to really love and care for myself because I can get lost in my caring.
G'day mate, how are you?
The only way I've been able to manage this successfully is because I've had other carers in my life, and it's made a real massive difference to my life and the life of other carers as well.
They'll be with other mates, they'll be with people that hang out together, and that hanging out together it's not just a sentimental thing, it's very important for people, that there's people who understand you, who accept you, and there's a kind of respite as well.
There are a lot of men out there in the community that are caring for people and they're not being recognised. There's no knowledge that there's a lot of men out there that are caring for their loved ones.
The response of the community in my situation as a male carer, and doctors, therapists, they generally don't address me as a male carer, which is something I'd like to see change.
Anybody who is in that role should be offered, by his friends of course and family, but by the profession as well, should be offered support. So it's not so much saying what's wrong with him not going to seek support, but what's wrong with us that we're not reaching out to such people.
Some of the negative implications of being a hidden male carer is that we don't ask for support. We need to really branch out and make connections with other carers and ask for support, because that's where the power really lies.
The thing I'd like to address the most about being a hidden male carer is you're not alone. Male carers seeking male carers support is beneficial due to the fact that they will know what you're going through, if not completely, at least somewhat.
I think the benefits of seeking advice is it makes you a better carer.
The conversation is more around what we do to cope and how we do what we do every day without crashing and burning, essentially.
Carers cannot do caring on their own. This is a fundamental aspect of caring that's really, really important, is that we ask for help and that we don't isolate ourselves and stay hidden in the community.